Another Zone Sportsmanship Challenge for What the Foxtrot Sexy Headphones, aka Headphone, or anyone else who might be interested. This will be my very first objective-based Zulu Sierra Charlie. Inspired by Headphone's latest episode of Gamma. By the way, Headphone, you were right not to take that mission. To defend the pump station mission, you've got to have good gear to withstand that. And that's what I'm going to do now, but in a specific sort of way. Kind of skimpy. You can sometimes get more. Alright. So the challenge is to do the pump station mission. No limitation on your defensive gear. So anything here, here, and here. Try not to resort to melee because there are two specific weapons that this challenge focuses on. The SKS and a sawed-off double barrel, intended to mimic the weapons of choice of Mad Max and Furiosa. But it's got to be a TOZ-34, which is an over-under, whereas Mad Max uses a side-by-side. However, in most of the Mad Max movies, it's a side-by-side hammerless box lock, which makes it more technically similar to an over-under hammerless box lock, as opposed to a double hammer, aka rabbit ear, side lock. Although Max does use a rabbit ear side lock in Beyond Thunderdome, but he only fires one shot out of it throughout the entire movie. Oh, and you can't put a scope on the SKS, unlike Furiosa. I can just trudge through this water without worrying about radiation because of my loadout. I always reiterate, I've been in the zone for months on this character. I'm in no hurry to beat it. I want to savor the adventure every moment that I can. By the way, whenever you take this mission and you get here, there will always be a few dead bandits, and usually at least one of them will have a bandage. No scope SVD. It is a DMR after all. AK-74. Very 1970s looking AK-74. Oh! Galil. Technically a hybrid of a Galil ARM and a Galatz, though in game it's misidentified as a Galil AR. A 1970s looking AK-74. Another one. No, that might be an AKS-74, judging by the stock, which I can only glimpse at from that angle. Old school AK, AKM, misidentified as an AKMN, AKS-74. Well, these guys are all adequately armed. I have a few spare weapons stashed that would allow me to equip my buddies if I felt that they were inadequately armed. First tier upgrades and all the reliability upgrades. And I could use M43, but I'm going to use standard FMJ and no scope. Got to do it all with iron sights. Quick save before accepting the mission. That's allowed, but don't quick save during the mission while you're doing all the stuff. The very first semi-auto rifle I ever owned was an SKS. I bought it used but in like-new condition. It had a Dragunov-style fiber force stock. Aftermarket that the previous owner had put on there. They're worth more if they have original wood furniture. Nowadays they're practically collector's items, I think. You don't see them very often anymore. But back in the day, it was the surplus rifle that everyone had or had to have if they didn't already have one. Yes, I absolutely will let those boars distract my enemies. Once those bandits start coming up here, I'm gonna lay into them with this. Probably not a good time to use this. Chicky bricky. Chicky bricky blue. I can't do that correctly. Oh. It makes sense that Furiosa is better with a rifle than Mad Max because Max was trained as a cop, whereas Furiosa was trained as a soldier. Cut him down. Remember the scene when in Fury Road when Furiosa is shooting enemy motorcyclists out of the air with an SKS? Zone sportsmanship style, no doubt. Opa, some chicken bricky, eu don't care. Alright, so go ahead and use melee, I guess. Did he really? He took both of my weapons and made them disappear. I guess not. 0% condition. He couldn't finish his phrase. Don't ShamWow at me. Sorry, but that's what it sounds like he's saying. Option to repair armor has expired, of course. Still doing all right on ammo. Could have grabbed more shotgun shells from my stash. If I'd wanted to. I have done this with the SKS before. With all of its reliability upgrades, and it only went down to 98%. Type 63 with PU scope handles this task just fine, much better than the SKS. Easy to fire 2 to 4 round bursts. Again? Controllers roam the surface in broad daylight. So pack a grenade launcher, which is overkill for a controller, but they have OP abilities anyway. So overkill is not only allowed, it's recommended practice. Alright! Even with good gear, it's still a challenging battle. Pretty sure this shotgun should hold 7 or 8 total instead of 6, judging by the length of the magazine tube, relative to the length of the barrel, relative to the length of the receiver. This looks like a shotgun that should hold 7 in the tube plus 1 in the chamber if using standard 2 3/4 inch shells. Let's see what's on these PDAs. Mutated creature trying to communicate over the radio. 141 gigahertz. I wonder if it was a flesh pig. Radio flesh pig.
From my video to my radio.
I'm taking you to the flip side.
Don't like the scorpion. I like the Kypris, but not the scorpion. Check some more of these. Party like it's 1986. Not a bad haul of stash info. Scoring some spare batteries in the process. I only ever feel the need to keep 21 spare batteries on me at any given time. Why 21? Because it's 3 rows of 7 and it fits neatly right here. Plus whatever I have in my gear. Not quite a 20% fix. That's actually not a terrible price. I mean, once you've been in the zone long enough to, to have made a name for yourself to some degree. Early on, as we all know, it's an entirely different story. I forget who deals in information for Clear Sky. Not you. Depending on faction, it's either the technician or the trader, typically. Here we go. I already have the infopreneur achievement. I wish this gun was better in standard issue anomaly. How is it in Gamma, if you or anyone else have ever used it? Decent prices on 40 mils. This is the only trader I know of who sells Gauss batteries, but I've never played as Monolith before, so I don't know if the Monolith trader sells that. Now I'll get 4 different artifacts of 3 different types, each contained in a container. The reward is always, from what I've observed anyway, 4 artifacts of 3 different types, so you get 2 of one kind. He's fused to his desk, Philadelphia experiment style. Well, that's that. See you next mission, zoners.